Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Cyro. I don't know why I never say my name right here, but today we'll be doing our usual playoff preview predictions and everything. Preview and predictions. Yeah, I don't know why I was going to say everything in between too, but that's what we're going to be doing. And today's the play-in between the Heat and the Hornets. And I've been very fortunate enough to have been credentialed for the last year and a half, media member to cover Heat games. Unfortunately, this year, the play-in is happening during Portsmouth, so I'm going to miss the play-in game because I'm going to Portsmouth that day, the first day of Portsmouth on the day of the play-in. I'm really hoping the Heat win this, like personally, just so I can come back and at least have a playoff series to watch and be able to cover. That's the partisan interest, I will just say, from here. But let's get right into it. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Who do you think is going to win this? The East 9-10 play-in to face against the Detroit Pistons, which I really feel like either of these teams could give the Detroit Pistons a run for their money. Hit that subscribe button as we're on the way to 20,000. I can't get there without your guys' help. And to me, I feel like the Hornets and the Heat feel like a clash of style more than the Seas. Charlotte finished 44-38 with a better net rating at 5 plus, while the Miami Heat went 43-39 with a plus 2.2. The Heat had this really hot start to the season and they tapered off. On paper, the Hornets were the stronger full season team. In a one-game setting, though, I think Miami's shot making and Erik Spoelstra's coaching ability makes this far less of a straightforward matchup. Charlotte's case starts with balance and shot profile. The Hornets ranked 5th in offensive rating at 119.4 and finished second in three-point percentage at 37.8, defended at a top 10 level in points allowed per game at 111.2. LaMelo Ball drives everything as the engine. Brandon Miller gives them a high-level scoring wing, and Kon Knueppel is a conniption as he had a terrific, historic rookie season as a incredible floor spacer, the best three-point shooter in the league, and gives them a secondary co-weapon, basically a three-headed monster. Then Miles Bridges adds downhill force. Moussa Diabate, the Moose is loose, with Ryan Kalkbrenner, gives them real size and activity inside and a big man by committee. They got Grant Williams and other guys. This is not a fluky 9 seed. Charlotte defends, rebounds, and has enough perimeter firepower to beat good teams, and we saw that late in the year. Now, Miami's path is different. The Heat play fast, score in bunches, and can overwhelm teams with pace and pressure with Tyler Herro and Norman Powell and Bam Adebayo getting rolling. They finished second in the league in scoring at 120.9 points per game and finished first in pace at 103.4 possessions per game. Bam Adebayo had a historic 83-point game, and he still is a stabilizer on both ends. Andrew Wiggins gives them another guy who can be a reliable two-way wing. Kel'el Ware emerged as, I think, a really good X factor due to his size, three-point shooting, rebounding, rim finishing, as he'll be able to punish Charlotte if the Hornets get too small or Kalkbrenner and Moussa Diabate can't handle both Adebayo and Ware, or even just the Hornets overhelping against Miami on the wing. The biggest question is whether Miami can get enough stops. The Heat allowed 118 points, almost 119 points per game, ranked 22nd in opponent scoring. Charlotte is much more controlled offensively, but the Hornets have enough shooting to punish Miami's defensive lapses. If LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges get downhill and start spraying out to Miller, Knueppel, or to Bridges or Ball themselves, Miami could spend the night chasing the ball. Charlotte also does a better job protecting the paint, cleaning the glass than Miami's season-long defensive profile suggests. The head-to-head split this past season is interesting. Miami won the first 3 meetings, including 2 blowouts early and a 128-120 win on March 6th. But Charlotte answered with a statement 136-106 win on March 17th. That may matter more because it came late, but the Hornets were clearly playing better basketball late. Charlotte closed the season 13-7 over the last 20 and looked far more stable defensively than Miami, which had stretches in this season late where their defense collapsed, especially in the fourth quarter. For Miami, the swing factor is obvious. Tyler Herro's health and scoring punch mattered a lot after he played only 33 games. Norman Powell gives them another shot creator, an elite one who can win a playoff game by himself for stretches, and Bam Adebayo is the matchup piece that I think that could tilt the game. If he dominates the interior, switches cleanly onto Ball, controls the tempo, and Miami can absolutely steal this. Erik Spoelstra also gives them, the Heat, a schematic edge. No offense to Charles Lee, but it's because Spoelstra and Chris Quinn, the assistant coach who does a lot of the play draw-ups and ATOs, is as good as anyone at turning a single game matchup into a grind. For the Charlotte Hornets, I think the equation, the formula, is a lot simpler. Win the possession battle. Physically impose your will. Okay? Demoralize them. Rebound. Keep the floor space and make Miami defend the full 48 minutes. LaMelo Ball cannot get loose with turnovers, but if he can control the game, Brandon Miller hit those open threes. Same thing with Kon Knueppel. Charlotte has the deeper and more balanced offensive attack, and obviously Kon Knueppel is the X factor here too. The rookie is in this spot, is worth watching. Only shooting 43% from three, being the best three-point shooter this year, and the overall offensive polish he gives Charlotte is the real weapon that Miami has to respect. Now, this should be close for 3 quarters. Miami has more playoff scars and more proven late-game stars. Charlotte is a younger team, but statistically is the cleaner profile. Better net rating. Home court advantage is the 9th seed. Over 82 games, Hornets have looked more sustainable. In one game, that usually matters less, but Charlotte's mix of shooting size and half-court control may be the better formula against a Heat team that hasn't been able to consistently defend well. Now, I think there's going to be a lot more to this than we see right here. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts while we continue talking about this, because I think it's definitely interesting as we look at it. I really curious. What do you guys think? And in the rotation, the 10-man for both teams is going to be another thing you have to look at. Who else is going to be? Because it's usually 8 to 10 guys you play. And we said Bam here and at Kon Knueppel, but I think Tyler Herro might be the biggest swing piece. Miami already plays fast, scores at a high level. A Herro gives them a true perimeter shot creator that can bend Charlotte's defense. If he can get off to a hot start and hit those pull-ups, force traps, I think they're going to look dangerous. We've already mentioned that Kel'el Ware and Davion Mitchell is another one that his job is simple but massive. Make LaMelo Ball work for it. Miami doesn't need Davion to score 20. They need him to pressure the ball, disrupt Charlotte's rhythm, keep LaMelo Ball from controlling the space. Jaime Jaquez is the connective piece. He needs to get downhill, keep the offense flowing, punish switches, add physicality. If Miami get one of those 16 points, 6 rebound, 5 assists, Jaquez nights, that's huge. We mentioned Knueppel. Brandon Miller, we kind of talked on him. He's not just one of their stars, but he's going to have to also win the wing matchups against Wiggins and Jaquez. His scoring is going to be huge. Diabate and Kalkbrenner are huge. Kobe White off the bench is going to change the game in a one-game setting. He could be the guy that if Miami's containing ball, White could be the guy, be the microwave off the bench that tilts the defense and keeps them from stagnating. To me, I think you look at the other guys where there's also Josh Green and Grant Williams who should complement. And then I think Powell's obviously the 6th man and could easily close instead of, Ware, Kasparis, Yakachonis, Keyshawn Johnson, and Myron Gardner. I don't think they're going to really play. I don't know if Jovic is going to play, and they're saying Simone Fonseca and Palo Larson are going to be out. So if Spoelstra wants more switching in the late game and less size, they could close with Bam at the center and Powell on the floor, Jaquez. It's going to be definitely interesting, and I think Miami probably has a more playoff tested core. And I think Miami, they can defend well enough to win this. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami just because of the edge, and I think they're more desperate.